Joining us now on the phone is Nicholas Akins, Chairman, President, and CEO of American Electric Power. Thanks for joining us on the phone, Nick. Have you been at the White House?
Great to be with you.
Nick, were you at the White House? Were they debriefing
No, I was
you guys
not.
on this? Okay.
No.
What kind of first step? What's the first thing that happens now, having heard that the administration is moving forward with this?
Yeah, I think the first thing that has to happen, the industry continues to make considerable progress, and he mentioned that the power companies have already made considerable progress. But we have to go back and look at this. It's over a 1,600-page rule, and it's very complicated as you change the nature of how we invest and how we actually run our power system. So, and these are state plans that are produced, and we have to be able to not only digest the 1,600-page rule, but define what that means in terms of the resources that each state can deal with in terms of meeting its target.
Let me ask it this way. I mean, clearly, a lot of in the industry, folks in the industry are saying that this is just bad for business and it's too much too soon and the cost would be too high. Let me ask you, though, as you understand the plan, and we haven't read the 1,600 pages, none of us, I would imagine, at this point, is it good for the climate, what the president's proposing?
Yes, I think it'll be good for the climate. As we progress toward the emphasis on renewables and energy efficiency, we'll be able to make and adapt to changes through the power system in terms of resources to enable a cleaner energy environment from a carbon perspective. We are already retiring 25% of the coal fleet in this country, and this would accelerate many respects of that, along with natural gas, but certainly the advent of renewable technologies, whether solar or wind power or whatever.
Yeah, Kelly and I were struck by that. We saw that your track record at AEP for retiring coal-fired plants. I mean, you've come down appreciably. So, I imagine the president would be pleased with that. But do you admit that there are some of your colleagues in other businesses that are not doing their part? Is that the reason the president has to bring the hammer down like this?
Well, I certainly don't see it that way. I mean, obviously the industry together has been moving forward quite dramatically. We've reduced carbon emissions 15% since 2005. So there's been a lot of effort going into a transformation that's naturally occurring as we rebalance a portfolio that did include shale gas just a few years ago, and also the advent of new technologies are coming into play, and that's a natural progression that occurs. The issue is how quickly you do it and the effect it has on the ultimate cost to consumers, and as well, not to impact the reliability of the grid that we depend upon for everything we do in our daily lives.
Sure, and it'll take years to determine the real cost impact, Nick, but when it comes to the clean technologies that you'll actually be using, I mean, how is it that you'll meet these reduction targets? Is it going to be through cleaner coal capture technologies? Is it natural gas? Is it renewables? I mean, how are you pragmatically going to put this into effect?
Yeah, so really we'll be focused on continued retirements of coal-fired generation, but also natural gas is one where we can move to coal to gas conversion because it has half the carbon emissions of coal. Carbon capture and storage is very expensive on coal-fired generation, so we're going to have a concerted effort from a research standpoint to enable coal to continue to be viable. And then as we pursue nuclear and other types of resources from a renewable standpoint, centralized utility-scale solar is very efficient, much more efficient than the rooftop solar. And so we need to be wise about what kind of investments we make as the technologies improve.
And already it's changed so much, as we've heard. Nick, thank you so much.
Thanks, Nick.
Nicholas
Thank
Akins
you.
is the CEO of American Electric.